Good day everyone, we are the group 3. So before I start, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Muhida Isali and today we will discuss the Unit 3 exercise and fitness training, and I will focus on one of the most effective workout methods, which is the circuit training. Before we start our formal discussion, allow me to read the general objectives of our topic. So at the end of the unit, the students are expected to, number 1, discuss the different exercise and fitness training as to its A, definition, B, types, C, benefits, D, setup. Number 2, execute properly the exercise and fitness training. So first is the circuit training. So ano nga ba yung circuit training? So it is one of the types of workout wherein gagawa ka ng iba't ibang exercises ng sunod-sunod na parang umiikot ka lang sa mga stations or the steps. Meaning hindi ka nagtatagal sa pagpapahinga mo kasi dapat tuloy-tuloy yung movement ng katawan mo. So sa madaling salita, instead na mag-focus ka lang sa isang exercise, pinagsama-sama mo yung mga exercises sa isang routine. Next is, what is circuit training? So according to its definition, in a circuit training session, you perform several exercises in a row for a specific amount of time or set of number of repetition. So ang circuit training is designed for our full body workout. Ibig sabihin, hindi lang isang part ng katawan mo ang nag-work, but then pati yung iba't ibang muscles like legs, arms, core, pati ang ating cardio. So for example, magsisimula ka sa exercise for your legs, tapos ilipat ka sa arms, then sa core, then cardio. Because of this, balance na ang workout at hindi agad napapagod ang isang muscle group. How does the circuit training work? So according to its definition, is often structured with exercises that switch between muscles groups, allowing some muscles to recover while others are working. This approach helps reduce and lets you keep moving through the workout. So a typical circuit might include 5 to 10 different exercises. Each exercise is performed for a set of time like 30 to 60 seconds or a certain number of repetition. So, ibig sabihin, ang circuit training is an organized workout kung saan nagpapalit-palit ka ng exercises na gumagamit ng iba't ibang muscles groups. For example, kapag nag-start ka sa legs, ang next mo naman ay arms, tapos core. So, because of this, habang may isang part ng katawan mo na nag-work, yung ibang muscles naman ay nagpapahinga kahit konti. Kaya hindi agad napapagod yung katawan mo. Ito yung dahilan kung bakit mas kaya mong ituloy-tuloy ang workout without stopping for a long time. So, in this way, nakaka-help siya para ma-reduce ang fatigue or sobrang pagkapagod. Kasi hindi sabay-sabay pinapagod ang buong katawan mo. So, karaniwan or parang common na circuit training is may 5 to 10 exercises, kaya iba-iba ang galaw at hindi ka naboboard. So bawat exercise naman is ginagawa siya in a specific time like 30 to 60 seconds or a specific number of repetition like 10 to 15 times. For example, gagawin mo ang isang exercise for 30 seconds, then lipat ka agad sa next hanggang matapos mo lahat ng exercise sa circuit. There are usually 2 main types of circuits. Number 1 is time circuits. You perform each exercise for a set of period, then rest briefly before moving to the next one. So sa time circuits naman, bawat exercise mo is ginagawa mo siya sa set ng period of time. For example, gagawin mong squats for 30 seconds, tapos mag-rest ka ng konti like 10 to 30 seconds bago ka lumipat sa isang or the next exercise. So ang advantage naman ito is mas madaling i-manage ang oras, lalo na kung gusto mo ng quick but effective workout. So mas nakaka-focus ka sa endurance and intensity kasi sinusubukan mong mag-move continuously sa bawat exercise sa loob ng time limit. Next is the rep-based circuits. Each exercise has a specific number of repetitions. After completing each set, you move on to the next exercise. So sa rep-based circuits naman, bawat exercise ay may specific number of repetitions. For example, gagawin mo ang 10 push-ups, tapos ilipat ka sa 15 squats, tapos 20 jumping jacks, and etc. So in this type of circuit, mas nakakatulong sa strength building kasi nakaka-focus ka sa bilang ng galaw or the repetition. So instead na oras lang ang basihan after makumpleto ang repetition ng isang exercise, magre-rest ka ng konti, then move to the next exercise. So there are some benefits of circuit training. So number 1 is improves cardiovascular fitness by improving quickly between exercises. Your heart rate stays up, giving you a cardio workout alongside strength training. So dahil sa mabilis ang movement between the exercises, tataas ang heart rate mo, kaya nagkakaroon ka rin ng cardio workout habang ginagawa ang mga strength exercises. So madaling salita, hindi lang muscles mo ang lumalakas, pati na rin yung heart and lungs mo is nagiging healthy rin. Next is builds muscle endurance. Circuit training often includes body weight exercises, weights, or resistance bands, helping build muscles endurance and overall strength. So maraming exercises sa circuit training ang gumagamit ng body weight weights or resistant bands. Because of this, nakakatulong ito para palakasin ang muscles at tumataas ang endurance. Ibig sabihin, mas tumatagal at mas nagiging matatag ang muscle mo sa physical activities. Next is time efficient. With minimal rest between exercises, circuit training packs a full body workout into a short period, making it a great option for a busy people. So, kasi nga minimal ang rest sa pagitan ng exercises, kaya kahit short time lang ang workout mo, makakagawa ka ng full body workout. So, this is good sa mga busy na tao or students na gustong mag-workout pero konti lang ang oras. Next, burns calories and fat. The fast-paced nature of circuit training can help increase calorie burn, making it effective for those looking to lose weight or tone up. Dahil sa fast-paced nature ng circuit training, mas tumataas ang calorie burn mo. Ibig sabihin, habang ginagawa mo ang sunod-sunod na exercise, natutunaw ang taba at calories sa katawan mo. Kaya perfect ito siya sa mga gustong magbawas ng timbang or mag-tone up ng katawan. Next is the flexible and versatile. You can easily adjust exercise based on your fitness level and available equipment, making suitable for beginners and advanced athletes alike. So, ang circuit training is madaling i-adjust based sa fitness level at sa equipment na meron ka. So, pwede kang gumawa ng simpleng exercises kung beginner ka o magdagdag ng weights or resistant bands kung advanced ka na. Kaya suitable siya sa lahat ng level mula beginners hanggang sa mga athletes. Setting up a circuit training routine. So, in this part naman, so before you start your exercise, dapat piliin mo muna kung ano yung kailangan mong exercise na tatarget sa iba't ibang part ng katawan mo para mabalance ang workout. So, mas maganda kung may exercise para sa legs, arms, core, at cardio. So, common examples ng mga exercise is like squats para sa legs, lunges for the legs, push-ups para sa arms and chest, planks para naman sa core, or the burpees para sa cardio at full body, and jumping jacks para naman sa heart rate mo at cardio. So, next is decide on time or repetition. Dito naman is ikaw yung choose kung anong set of time or set of number ang exercise mo. So, sa time-based naman, for example, 30 to 60 seconds bawat exercise, mas maganda ito kung gusto mo ng continuous movement at cardio benefits. Or kung gusto mo naman ng repetition-based, ang halimbawa nito is 10 to 20 repetitions bawat exercise, mas nakaka-focus ito sa strength at muscles endurance mo. Pag napili mo na kung time or repetition ang gagawin mo, pwede mo nang iset ang order ng exercises, tapos i-plan mo ang rest period sa pagitan ng bawat exercise. Usually, konti lang ang rest, like 10 to 30 seconds para tuloy-tuloy ang workout. Next is the planned rest period. So, kapag nag-set ka ng circuit, it is important for you to rest also between the exercise. So, pwede mong i-adjust ito depende sa fitness goals mo. For example, short rest between 10 to 15 seconds kasi mas intense ang workout kasi tuloy-tuloy ang galaw ng katawan. Maganda ito kung gusto mo ng high-intensity session at gusto mo rin ng more calorie burn. Next is the longer rest, 30 to 60 seconds. Mas nakakatulong sa recovery ng muscles para ready ka na sa next exercise. It is good kung beginner ka pa lang or gusto mong mag-focus sa strength at proper form. Next is choose the number of rounds. So, sunod sa rest, kailangan mong piliin kung anong rounds ang gagawin mo sa buong circuit. For the beginners is 1 to 2 rounds lang muna kasi mas manageable at mas safe sa katawan, especially kung bago ka lang sa circuit training. Next is the advanced athletes. 3 to 5 rounds. Mas challenging kasi to at mas intense, and it is perfect kung high endurance at strong muscles ang goals mo.
Thank you very much!
Good morning everyone, my name is Bayas Nara Panganiban Sabpa, and now let's proceed to the sample circuit training routine. Circuit training means doing different exercises one after another with only a short time. So here are the sample of full body circuit workout. First is squats for 45 seconds. Squats help strengthen our legs and lower body. Second is push-ups for 45 seconds. So push-ups helps build, strengthen our chest, arms and shoulder. Next is jumping jacks for 45 seconds. So this exercise increases our heart rate and improves our cardio. And then planks for 45 seconds. Planks help strengthen our core or abdominal muscles. So, after completing the 4 exercises, we take a 30-second rest to recover. So, once the rest is finished, we repeat the circuit in 3 times. So, this workout trains different parts of our body like legs, chest, and core while also improving our endurance and cardio. Next is tips for circuit training. First one is warm up. So yes, is it important to start with warm-up to prepare our muscle and help avoid injuries? Second is adjust intensity. So if you are a beginner, you can start with shorter workout time or fewer rounds. Habang tumatagal and nasasanay ang katawan mo, you can slowly increase the time or number of rounds. Third is stay hydrated. So yes, circuit training can be intense, so make sure to drink water to keep our body hydrated. And lastly, listen to your body. It's good to challenge yourself, but not in a way na mag-overdo. Make sure you can still maintain proper form while doing the exercises. Now the question is, circuit training right for you? Circuit training is good for people who want to improve both strength and cardio in a short amount of time. And it is flexible because it can be done with or without equipment and works well for people at different fitness level. So the main idea of circuit training is to keep your body working consistently while giving different muscle groups time to recover during each exercise cycles. So this method is effective for increasing muscular endurance, cardiovascular fitness, and burning calories. Now, here are some tips for successful circuit training. First is use good form. Always keep the correct posture when you're doing exercises, especially when you start to feel tired. Second, modify when needed. If the exercise is too hard, you can adjust it lower intensity based on your fitness level. Third, track your progress. You can track your improvement by continuing your reps, weight use, or circuit completed. And lastly, be consistent. Try doing circuit training 2 to 3 times a week to get better results. So that's all. Thank you.
Good day everyone, so my name is Mohani Saliloban. So now I will be discussing about Fitnopoly. Fitnopoly is an interactive fitness-based game inspired by the classic board game Monopoly. So if you are familiar about Monopoly guys, is ito na yung board game na kung saan is meron kang kalaban, which is kayo yung magkukompete. Dito sa Monopoly is ang inaano lang dito is yung properties, kumbaga padamihan ng properties, gano'n. So, yes, ginagamitan nito ng dice in order for you to move forward. So, it combines the fun of a board game with an exercise routine, making workouts enjoyable and motivating. So, dito nga sa Fitnopoly is instead na property, yung space is, kada space is merong exercise na nakalagay or naka-destined dito sa bawat space na ito. So, for example, is kapag nag-roll ka ng dice and then ang natapat is 4. So, mag-move ka doon sa pang 4 na space and then kapag ang nalagay doon sa number 4 na yun is 20 jumping jacks. So, kailangan mong gawin yun. So, ganun ang Fitnopoly. Okay, so what is Fitnopoly? So, Fitnopoly is a fitness game designed to keep people active through structured yet entertaining approach. Similar to Monopoly, Fitnopoly has spaces on the board that represent various fitness challenges. Instead of properties, each space or property requires players to perform a particular exercise. So, it depends on the space. The exercises might be focused on strength, cardio, balance, or flexibility. So, ginawa itong Fitnopoly na ito for entertaining approach, diba? So, kasi sometimes, diba, kapag nag-exercise tayo, so parang wala man lang ka-challenge, no? So, parang nakakawalang gana, like boring. So, dito sa Fitnopoly is hindi siya boring kasi nga, diba, merong mga challenges, merong rest. So, if pagod ka na is, kailangan mong i-roll yung dice and then, pag-pray mo na lang na doon ka mapunta sa break time or sa break or sa water break. no? So, of course, no? So, dito sabi ko nga kanina, di ba? So, in every spaces or property is meron naka-designated or meron siyang naka-assign doon na exercise. So, kung saan, if doon ka mapunta, is kailangan mong gawin yung exercise na yun. So, depende sa kung ano yung nakalagay doon sa board na exercise na pwede mong gawin or pwedeng gawin ng kalabog mo. So, sometimes it focus on strength, of course, no? Cardio, balance, or flexibility. So, ang example ng mga exercise na pwedeng possible na malagay doon is yung jumping jack, burpees, or yung planks, no? So, ang maganda dito sa Fitnopoly is customizable siya, no? So, pwede mong i-adjust yung intensity ng exercise na gagawin mo. Let's say, if you are a beginner, so, pwede na yung exercise is pang beginner lang or yung pang pro, di ba? So, ganun. So, let's proceed. So, how Fitnopoly works now. So, first and foremost is we have setting up the board. So, first is isa-set up muna natin kung ano yung board na gagamitin natin. It can be painted, drawn on a poster, or maybe digital, or maybe pwede kang gumamit ng digital like tablet or laptop. So, kada space is meron siyang different exercises. For example, yung squats, push-ups, burpees, or yung planks, no? So, of course, meron din naka-indicate na start kung saan kayo magsisimula. So, second, game pieces and dice. So bawat player is merong tokens or marker, of course, no, to represent them or themselves, no. So, yes, ginagamitan siya ng dice in order for you to move, no. So, i-roll mo lang yung dice kung saan ito natapat, or let's say nasa 4. So, mag-move ka sa number 4 na space. So, gagawin mo kung ano yung meron sa number 4 na space na yun. Let's say, mag-push up ka ng 20. So, kailangan mo gawin yun. So, third, landing on spaces. So, kagaya na nagsabi ko kanina, di ba? So, if you roll the dice, so, kapag ang natapat dito na number, let's say 4 or 6 or 5, so, kung ano yung exercise na meron doon sa number na yun, is kailangan mo gawin. So, for example, doon is jumping jack. So, let's say, ang nalagay doon is 20 jumping jack. So, kailangan mong gawin yun. So, pang fourth, we have the spatial spaces. So, dito sa spatial spaces dito, is ito na yung sinasabi ko na meron siyang challenges, merong rest day, or double trouble, or let's say, yung water break. So, dito sa rest day is, pwede mo ma-skip yung exercise na natapat, or let's say, nasa 4. So, mag-move ka sa number 4 na space. So, gagawin mo kung ano yung meron sa number 4 na space na yun. Let's say, mag-push up ka ng 20. So, kailangan mo gawin yun. So, third, landing on spaces. So, kagaya na nagsabi ko kanina, di ba? So, if you roll the dice, so, kapag ang natapat dito na number, let's say 4 or 6 or 5, so, kung ano yung exercise na meron doon sa number na yun, is kailangan mo gawin. So, for example, doon is jumping jack. So, let's say, ang nalagay doon is 20 jumping jack. So, kailangan mong gawin yun. So, pang fourth, we have the spatial spaces. So, dito sa spatial spaces dito, is ito na yung sinasabi ko na meron siyang challenges, merong rest day, or double trouble, or let's say, yung water break. So, dito sa rest day is, pwede mo ma-skip yung exercise na dapat is gagawin mo. So, dito naman sa double trouble is, kailangan mong i-double yung exercise na makukuha mo. So, let's say, doon ka napunta sa 20 jumping jacks. So, ang mangyayari is, mag-double yung jumping jack na gagawin mo. Let's say, 20 jumping jacks. So, magiging 40 jumping jacks na siya. So, you needed to do it. So, dito sa challenge na ito, is ito na yung mga surprise na mga exercise na wala doon sa spaces na nalagay. Kung baka ibang exercise na gagawin ninyo. So, for example, dito sa challenge is tatakbo ka ng 1 minute. For example lang, ha. So, kailangan mong gawin yun. So, the fifth one is the winning the game. So, depende kung paano mag-end yung game dito sa Fitnopoly. We have a different ways, no? So, for example, is orasan. So, if natapos yung oras ninyo, and then, sino yung mas mataas na points is siya yung nanalo. Or, let's say, pataasan kayo ng points. For example, meron na kayong specific points na kung saan kapag umabot ka doon is ikaw na yung mananalo. So, yun. So, let's proceed to the benefits of Fitnopoly. First, it makes exercise fun. Turning workouts into a game helps people stay motivated. So, yes, no. So, dito sa Fitnopoly is instead na like exercise lang. So, it makes fun, no? So, for example, is mamamotivate ka na mag-exercise in order for you to earn 8 points. So second, it is versatile and customizable. So sabi ko nga kanina, di ba, this is the beauty of the Fitnopoly. It is customizable, no? So for example is yung exercise na napili mo or napuntahan mo is hindi mo kaya, so you can change it based on your level or base sa kung saan lang yung kaya mo. So third is it encourage social interaction, no? So yes, no, it encourage social interaction. So depende kung sino yung makakalaman dito, no? Depende sa'yo if yung kaibigan mo ba, if your family, or even your classmates mo. So may mabubuo na bond, no? Fourth is it offers a variety of exercise. So yes, no, kasi kada space na malalambingan mo or mapupuntahan mo is may different exercise na nakalagay dito or designated exercise. And of course, no, dito sa challenges, meron naman dito mga surprise na mga exercise na wala doon sa nakalagay sa spaces. So finally, we have the intensity is adjustable. So pwede mong i-adjust yung exercise na makukuha mo sa kung ano lang yung fit sa'yo or kung ano lang yung suit sa'yo, no? For example, hindi mo kaya yung 20 jumping jacks, no? So pwede mo i-adjust. So let's proceed to the tips for success. So choose appropriate exercise to choose overworking one muscle group. So sabi nga doon, no, ang Fitnopoly is adjustable and customizable. So pwede mong i-adjust or pwede mong piliin kung ano lang yung suit sa level mo, no? Para ma-avoid yung overworking of one muscle kasi nga pwede kang magkasakit. So kagaya nga ng sabi nila, lahat ng sobra ay nakakasama. So next, modify exercises based on each player's fitness level. So you can adjust the intensity of the exercise that you do or that you are performing, no? So third, take turns rolling the dice so players have time to rest. So, diba? So kapag turn mo na mag-roll ng dice, yung kalaban mo is magkakaroon siya ng time na mag-rest, no? Or let's say ikaw is mag-perform ka na or yung kalaban mo is mag-perform na ng specific exercise. So you have your time na makapagpahinga, no? So next, set a clear goal for how the game will end, no? So, magsaset kayo ng goal kung paano nga ba ito mag-end. So, sabi mo kanina, di ba, it depends on how or makes fun, no? So, for example, yes, mamamotivate ka na mag-exercise in order for you to earn 8 points. So, second, it is versatile and customizable. So, sabi ko nga kanina, di ba, this is the beauty of the Fitnopoly. It is customizable, no? So, for example, is yung exercise na napili mo or napuntahan mo is hindi mo kaya, so you can change it based on your level or base sa kung saan lang yung kaya mo. So, third is it encourage social interaction, no? So, yes, no, it encourage social interaction. So, depende kung sino yung makakalaman dito, no? Depende sa'yo if yung kaibigan mo ba, if your family, or even your classmates mo. So, may mabubuo na bond, no? Fourth is it offers a variety of exercise. So yes, no, kasi kada space na malalambingan mo or mapupuntahan mo is may different exercise na nakalagay dito or designated exercise. And of course, no, dito sa challenges, meron naman dito mga surprise na mga exercise na wala doon sa nakalagay sa spaces. So finally, we have the intensity is adjustable. So pwede mong i-adjust yung exercise na makukuha mo sa kung ano lang yung fit sa'yo or kung ano lang yung suit sa'yo, no? For example, hindi mo kaya yung 20 jumping jacks, no? So pwede mo i-adjust. So let's proceed to the tips for success. So choose appropriate exercise to choose overworking one muscle group. So sabi nga doon mo, ang Fitnopoly is adjustable and customizable. So pwede mong i-adjust or pwede mong piliin kung ano lang yung suit sa level mo, no? Para ma-avoid yung overworking of one muscle kasi nga pwede kang magkasakit. So kagaya nga ng sabi nila, lahat ng sobra ay nakakasama. So next, modify exercises based on each player's fitness level. So you can adjust the intensity of the exercise that you do or that you are performing, no? So third, take turns rolling the dice so players have time to rest. So, diba? So kapag turn mo na mag-roll ng dice, so yung kalaban mo is magkakaroon siya ng time na mag-rest, no? Or let's say ikaw is mag-perform ka na or yung kalaban mo is mag-perform na ng specific exercise. So you have your time na makapagpahinga, no? So next, set a clear goal for how the game will end, no? So, magsaset kayo ng goal kung paano nga ba ito mag-end. So, sabi mo kanina, di ba, it depends on how or paano ba yung way ng pag-end ng game ninyo. Let's say, napag-usapan nyo na ganitong oras matatapos. So, kung sino yung may mataas na points, siya yung mananalo. Or let's say, pinag-usapan nyo na there is a specific points na kung saan kapag umabot ka sa points na yun, ikaw na yung mananalo. So, depende yun sa inyo. And of course, for the last, stay hydrated during the game.
So, ano nga ba ang resistance training? So, when we say resistance training, also known as strength or weight training, is a form of exercise where you work against a force to build muscle strength, endurance, and overall fitness. This type of training is beneficial for everyone, from beginners to advanced athletes, because it improves muscle tone, boosts metabolism, and supports bone health. In resistance training, muscles are worked by lifting weights, using resistant bands, or even pushing against your own body weight. So, if you want na magkaroon ka ng muscle, ang gagawin mong training is resistant training. Because resistant training, ito yung foundation para magkaroon ng muscle ang isang tao. So, yung mga exercise nito it involves yung pagbubuhat ng mga mabibigating mga dumbbells, barbells, and also yung mga resistant bands, yung parang tinatali siya while nakatali siya sa'yo while you are doing exercise. And dito rin yung exercise na like mga squatting, push-ups, kasi, yes, nakakaano rin sila ng muscles. So, what is resistant training? Resistant training is an exercise method where muscle works against an opposing force. This force could be from weights like dumbbells, barbells, resistant bands, machines, or even body weight. When muscle work against resistance, they adapt over time, getting stronger and increasing endurance. Gaya nga ng sabi ko kanina, etong resistant training ito yung training or exercise kung saan pag ginagawa natin is nagkakaroon tayo ng muscle. So, like earlier, I said, ito yung nagbubuhat ng dumbbells, nagbubuhat ng mga barbells, yung resistant bands na ginagamit, ganon. And commonly siya sa mga athletes. So, usually mga athletes talaga yung gumagawa ng resistant training na ito. And pag bago ka lang is mahihirapan ka talaga kasi masakit siya sa katawan. Pero as time pass by is masasanay ka na and magiging easy lang sa'yo ang ganitong exercise. So, next is how resistant training works. Number 1, muscle construction. So, resistant training works by making muscles contract against resistance. When you lift a weight, your muscle fibers contract to push or pull the weight. Over time, repeated contractions lead to stronger and larger muscle. So, etong resistant training is nakarely lang siya sa muscle contraction. So, kapag example is nagbubuhat ka ng dumbbell or mabibigat. So, pag binubuhat mo siya is yung muscle mo is nagko-contract. It's either nagle-lengthen, mahaba, or nag-shorten siya para hindi ka mahirapan sa pagbuhat or para malabanan mo yung force ng binubuhat mo na mabigat. So, because of your continuously using the muscle contraction is parang nare-repair nito or mas natitik nito yung muscle mo. Number 2 is progressive overload. So, progressive overload is the key to getting stronger is to gradually increase the resistance or intensity of the workout. This concept is called progressive overload. It involves increasing weight, reps, or intensity as you get stronger. So, etong progressive overload, dito nangyayari yung kung saan is while you are doing a resistance training is, di ba, pag nasasanay ka na, like, yung barbell is may isa lang yung kaya mong, yung isa lang by side yung kaya mong buhatin. So, habang tumatagal is parang easy na sa'yo. And, pag nangyari yon is, para mas mag-continue yung muscle strength mo is dadagdagan mo yun siya ng bigat para mas masanay na yung katawan mo or mas mag-form siya because of the weight that is being added. And kailangan talaga ito kasi parang pag nasanay na yung katawan mo na magbuhat ng yung isang dumbbell lang na yun is easy lang sa'yo. So, hindi nag-form yung muscle or nag-form siya pero hindi siya mas nag-i-improve. So, yun kasi as masasanay ka is pagdadagdagan mo siya, mas magpo-progress or mas magiging good yung progress ng training mo. So, number 3 is types of muscle contractions. So, it has 3 parts which contains eccentric, concentric, and isometric. Letter A is concentric. Muscle shortens as they lift a weight. Example, lifting a dumbbell in a bicep curl. So, etong concentric, dito nangyayari yung kung saan, yung example na pag when you curl a dumbbell upward is nag-shorten yung muscle mo. Letter B naman is eccentric. Muscles lengthen under tension. Example is lowering a dumbbell back down on a bicep curls. So, etong si eccentric is kabaliktaran lang siya ni concentric. Kung si concentric is nasi-shorten niya yung muscle mo, si eccentric naman is nalilengthen or napapahaban niya yung muscle mo. So, example is yung pag may binubuhat ka or when you bring a dumbbell back down in a bicep curl is mas nalilengthen or dahil sa ginawa mong yon is nalilengthen or humahaba yung muscle mo. So, etong si eccentric kasi is as you lower yung binubuhat mo, habang binababa mo is nalilengthen niya yung muscle mo. Si concentric naman is habang tinataas mo is nasi-shorten niya yung muscle mo. Letter C is the isometric. So, muscles hold a static position. Example is holding a plank. So, etong si isometric kasi is stationary or still lang yung muscle mo. Kahit na nag-force, gumagamit ka ng force is hindi siya humahaba or nor hindi rin siya lumiliit. And example nito is yung plank. Kasi still ka lang in that position. So, hindi siya, yung muscle mo is hindi humahaba. Hindi rin siya lumiliit. Or hindi ba siya gumagalaw ba? Static lang kumbaga. Next naman is a type of resistance training. So, number 1 is the body weight exercises. So, use your own body as resistance such as in push-ups, squats, and planks. Body weight exercises are convenient because they don't require equipment and can be done anywhere. So, etong body weight exercise is you're using your body as a weight or yung pabigat sa exercise. So, hindi ka na gumagamit ng mga dumbbell, ng barbell, ng kung ano man na ginagamit na pampabigat. So, etong si body weight exercises is you can done it at home. Letter B naman is free weights. So free weights, this includes dumbbells, kettlebells, and barbells. Free weights allow a full range of motion and require balance, marking them effective for building strength and stability. So etong si free weight is hindi siya gaya nung like yung mga machine na nag-guide ka habang nag-move or training. Etong si free weight is kailangan stable lang yung galaw mo para hindi ka mahirapan or mas maging good yung performance mo sa pagbubuhat ng mabigat or yung mga weight like yung dumbbells, kettlebells, ganon. So dito is kailangan naka-align yung katawan mo para mas maging stable or mas maging good yung performance mo while doing that resistance training. So, letter C naman is the resistance bands. So ito yung sinabi ko kanina sa introduction ba yun? Na when you're doing resistance training is pwede kang gumamit ng resistance bands. So, ano nga ba ito? Resistance bands. Bands provide constant tension, challenging muscles in both directions of movement. They are lightweight, portable, and come in different resistance levels. Etong resistance bands is yung hindi siya gaya ng free weight na nakakabuhat ka ng mabigat. Etong resistance bands is lightweight lang siya. So, actually, elastic band yung gamit. So, may different level din siya ng kung gaano siya resist or kung gaano yung resistance niya. So, syempre, so when you are doing this exercise is both eccentric and concentric yung nangyayari sa muscle mo. Nag-shorten siya and naglalengthen din siya. And etong si resistant bands is perfect din siya para sa mga beginners. Yung mga nag-uumpisa pa lang na mag-try ng resistance training exercises. Letter D naman is weight machine. So weight machines in gym shelf guide movements, making it easier for beginners to focus on form. Machines are also helpful for isolating specific muscles. So, etong si weight machines is good din siya for beginners. Hindi siya gaya nung free weight na kailangan stable yung katawan mo or yung formation mo is kailangan stable. Dito kay weight machine is may guide na siya. Nag-guide niya yung formation mo. So, hindi ka nahihirapan dito. Mas easy siya kaysa sa free weight. So, gaya ng kanina, yung machine daw is it can help isolating the muscle. So, sa mga machine is may target sila na like ano yung mas na-i-improve ng isang machine na ito at yung isa naman is like na-i-improve na yung muscle mo. Yung isa is sa eccentric muscle. Ganon. Lastly is the functional resistance training. So this combines strength exercises with movements that mimic everyday actions, like lunges with a twist or farmer's carry. It builds strength for daily activities. So, etong si functional resistance training is eto yung parang ginamimik or ginagaya mo yung everyday na galaw mo. Like, para maging parang simple exercise lang. Like, example is yung pagbubuhat ng bata, like when you are trying to reach something, ganon, is yun yung mga example ng functional resistance training. And kung everyday or parang ginamimik niya is mas nagiging easy yung daily lives nila kasi like mas nasasanay and mas though hindi siya ng muscle, Pero nakaka-help siya na maging easy yung galaw ng isang tao.
So good day, I am Nina Isabel Milanes. So today, I'm gonna discuss to you how to setting up a resistance training routine, sample beginner resistance training routine, and tips for effective resistance training. So first is we will gonna discuss how to setting up a resistance training routine. First is choose about 4 to 6 exercises that target your major muscle groups such as legs, chest, back, shoulder and arm, and core. So next is to set a number of repetition and sets. So if you are using lightweight, you can do 12 to 6 repetition for 3 to 5 sets to improve your muscle endurance. For moderate weight is do 8 to 12 repetition for 3 to 4 sets to help build your muscles. For heavyweight naman is do 2 to 6 repetition for 3 to 5 sets to increase your strength. So also it is also important to rest between a sets about 1 to 2 minutes for your muscle can recover. So for training frequency, resistance training should be done to 2 to 3 times per week with rest in between. So lastly is remember to progress gradually. Start at a lighter weight and slowly increase your weight repetition or sets as you are getting stronger. So let's move forward to the next topic, sample beginner resistance training routine. So first is the squat. This exercise target the legs muscles. Beginner can do 10 to 12 repetition for 3 sets. Second naman is the push-up. This exercise works the chest and the tricep. You can do 8 to 10 repetition for 3 sets. Third is the dumbbell row. This exercise target the back and the bicep. Perform 10 to 12 repetition for 3 sets. The fourth naman is the plank. This exercise strengthen the core. Hold the plank position for 30 seconds and repeat it for 3 sets. And the lastly is the glute bridge. This exercise target the glute and hamstring. Do to 10-12 repetition for 3 sets. So the next topic is the tips for effective resistance training. So first is it's important to warm up before exercising. A 5 to 10 minutes warm up helps prepare our muscle and body for physical activity. So this reduces the risk of injuries and help our body move better during the workout. Second, we should focus on a proper form. So using the correct form while doing exercise helps prevent injuries and make the workout more effective. So beginners should start with a light weight so they can first learn the correct movement. Third is we should listen to our body. It is normal to feel more muscle soreness after exercising, but sharp intense pain is not normal. If something feels wrong, it's important to stop and adjust your exercise. Fourth is we should stay consistent. Following a regular exercise routine for several weeks help us see our progress and improve our strength. So the fifth is to helpful track our progress by writing down the weights, repetition, and the sets we perform. We can monitor our improvements and gradually increase the intensity of our training. So that's all. Thank you.
Good day everyone. My name is Norhanay Kasan and today we will be discussing another topic in PAT. Good day everyone. 4. Dynamic training focuses on exercise that improve movement, coordination, and flexibility by using full range flowing movements. So when we say dynamic training, ito na yung exercise na gumagalaw yung katawan natin. Unlike the static training, which is hindi siya gumagalaw, naka-steady lang ang. So, what is dynamic training? It involves exercise that move the body through full range of motion. Yun na nga. Yung body natin is nagmo-move. Often imitate the motion of activity or sports you plan to perform. For example, is yung pagbabasketball. Meron tayong tinatawag na yung mga drills. Yun siya ang example ng dynamic training. So, benefits of dynamic training improves flexibility and range of motion. Syempre, na-improve nito ang ating flexibility. Next, enhances coordination and balance. Nako-coordinate nito ang ating katawan and napapabisa nito ang ating sense of balance. Warms up muscle effectively. So, syempre, before tayo sumabak sa mga sports, we need to condition our body, boost power and performance, and lastly, reduces injury risk. So, syempre, di ba, dynamic training tayo. So, before tayo gumawa ng mga mas mabigat na mga gawain, syempre, kailangan muna natin ng proper warm-up. Tips for effective dynamic training. Start slowly. Start with basic movements and gradually add more complex exercise as you gain confidence. So, syempre, kapag tayo ay gumagawa ng dynamic training, magsisimula muna tayo sa mga basic movements. For example, pag-ikot ng ating mga arms, ulo, at saka yung bewang. Focus on control. Avoid rushing. Use dynamic training as a warm-up. Since dynamic training warms up the muscles and improves flexibility, it is perfect for warm-ups routine before more intense exercise. So, syempre nga, ito na nga yung sinasabi nila na ang dynamic training is used for warm-up para makondisyon yung ating katawan. Incorporate into routine. Include dynamic exercises in your workout plan 2 to 3 times a week. So, syempre, hindi dapat natin inaaraw-araw ang dynamic training. So, kailangan din mag-adapt ng ating body para ito ay mas effective. Listen to your body. Pay attention to any pain or discomfort. So, hindi ibig sabihin na gumagawa ka na ng dynamic training is hindi mo na iintindihin kung ano nga ba talaga yung condition ng katawan mo. Baka meron kang injury or something, kaya ka nakakaramdam ng pain or discomfort. Listen to your body. Is dynamic training right for you? It is particularly useful for those involved in sports or high-intensity workout as it's prepare the body for complex movements. So, syempre, ang dynamic training is mas effective, mas nagagamit siya ng mga sporty, mga athletic na tao. Bakit? Mas nako-condition nito ang katawan nila. Kaya kanina nga, di ba, nasabi na parang ini-imitate nito yung mga gagawin mo na sports or mga physical activities. So, that's all. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.
I am Samar Utukutog, and now I will be discuss to you about Data Bata's definition, the science behind Data Bata, and benefits of Tabata training. So, the question is, what is Tabata? So, Tabata is a type of high-intensity interval training, also known as HIIT. This This workout method was developed by Japanese scientist Izumi Tabata in 1966 while studying training methods of Olympic speed skater in Japan. So Tabata follows a very specific patterns. So number 1 is 20 seconds of very intense exercise. Number 2 is 10 seconds of race. And the last is repeat this 8 times. So like what I've said, first you perform an exercise at maximum intensity for 20 seconds. After that, you take 10 seconds of race. And this cycle is repeated 8 times, making the total workout only 4 minutes long. This means one full Tabata workout lasts on 4 minutes. Even though it is short, the workout is extremely intense and designed to push the body to its maximum effort. Example of exercise used in Tabata includes jump squats, push-ups, burpees, high knees, and mountain climbers. Because of its intensity, Tabata training helps improve both anaerobic fitness, which is the body's ability to use oxygen efficiently, and anaerobic fitness, which is the body's ability to perform powerful movement in short bursts. We will proceed the science behind Tabata. So the science behind Tabata training is based on the high intensity intervals that challenge the body's 2 main energy systems, which is number 1 is aerobic system, number 2 is anaerobic system. So aerobic system, these systems uses oxygen to produce energy for longer activities like jogging or cycling. Number 2 is anaerobic system. This system produces quick bursts of energy without oxygen, which is used during short and intense activity like sprinting or jumping. During the 20 seconds of exercise period, the body uses a lot of energy, forcing the both energy systems of the body to work. The 10 seconds race period is also very short, which means the body does not fully recover. As a result, the heart rate stays high and the muscles continue working hard. Because of the scientific principles, the Tabata training is considered as one of the most efficient workout methods for improving endurance and overall fitness. Again, because of this, the body adapts by increasing oxygen use, improving muscles endurance, and burning more calories. Finally, we will proceed to the benefits of Tabata training. So number 1 is saves time. So what is it? Tabata works out only take 4 minutes, making them ideal for people with busy schedules, such as a government employee, and also number 2 is burn more calories. Because of the high intensity, the body continues burning calories even after the workout. This is known as the afterburn effect or excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, or it is also called as EPOC. And the number 3 is improves cardiovascular health, which means Tabata strengthens the hearts and the lungs, and it is also helping improves overall endurance. So number 4 is build strength and endurance, which is exercises used in Tabata often involves body weight movements, which help builds muscle strength. And the fourth is improves metabolism. It is actually a regular Tabata training can help boost metabolism, making the bodies more efficient at burning energy. So the last is can be done anywhere, which is the number 6. Tabata does not require expensive equipment. It can be done at home, in the gym, or outdoor, such as handling the heavy things in our house. And that's it. Bye-bye.
So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and have a great day, sir. So, before we start, allow me to introduce myself. I am Samir T. County. So, this is my video presentation or video report on our subject Path Fit 2. So, my topic is all about the Tabata workout or Tabata exercise. So, how to structure a Tabata workout. So, we have the warm up. Start with 5 to 10 minutes warm up to prepare the muscle and joints. So, before we start to do a Tabata workout, we need to start to 5 to 10 minutes para mas mag-prepare yung muscle natin, para mas makaprepare yung muscle natin and our joints. So, the next one is select exercise. Choose 1 to 4 exercises for each 4 minutes Tabata session, so you can focus on a single exercises. Example is squats. So, select exercise, meaning to say, mamimili ka ng mga pwede mong ipaperform na exercise until 1 to 4 exercises for each 4 minutes. So, yan. The next is follow the 20 to 10 rule. Perform the exercise at high intensity for 20 seconds, then rest for 10 seconds. So, dito, no, when you going to perform the exercise, you can high intensity for 20 seconds and mag-rest ka naman for 10 seconds. So, the next is rest between sets. After each Tabata set, no, take a 1 minute rest before starting the next set. So, meaning to say, after the set of the Tabata set, you need to rest a 1 minute to proceed to other set. So, the next is cool down. End with a 5-minute cool down, including stretching or light activity to help relax the muscle and bring the heart rate down. So, dito sa cool down, no, you need to end with a 5-minute cool down, including your stretching or light activity. So, this is the structure on how to work out the Tabata. So, the next one is the sample Tabata workout routine. So, as you can see in our PPT, makikita nyo po dito yung highness, squats, push-ups, and mountain climbers. So, meron namang nakalagay na time, which is 20 seconds, and meron namang rest, which is 10 seconds. So, let's proceed on the effective Tabata exercises. Tabata can include a variety of exercises to target different muscle groups. So, we have the body weight exercises. We have the squats. Squats builds leg strength and endurance. So, dito, nasa papalakas na yung legs natin and our endurance. The next is push-up. Push-up targets the chest, shoulders, and triceps. So, ang target nito ay our chest and shoulders and of course our triceps. The next is burpees. Burpees, full body exercise, boosts cardiovascular fitness. When we do burpees, no, body exercise and nabuboost na yung cardiovascular fitness natin. The next one is lunges. Lunges strengthens legs and core while improving balance. Nasi-strength na yung legs natin and our core while improving our balance. So the next one is the cardio-based moves. So dito we have the highness, increases heart rate, targeting core and leg muscles. So mas tumataas yung heart rate natin when we do highness, and ang target nito is our core and our muscles on our legs. So the next is mountain climbers, works abs, shoulders and legs with a cardio element. So dito sa mountain climbers, no, works abs. Wino-work na yung abs natin, shoulders and legs with a cardio element. The next is jumping jacks, great for warming up and raising heart rate. So dito naman is nagi-great na yung pagka-warming ng ating heart and nare-raise na yung heart rate natin. Now, let's proceed to the core exercises. We have the plank jacks, combines core stability with cardio. Of course, when we combine the core, mas na stability natin yung mga cardio natin. And the next is Russian twist, works the oblique muscles for core strength. Dito naman is mas na-work niya yung oblique muscles natin at mas nalalagyan ng strength yung mga core natin. The next is bicycle crunches, engages the core, focusing on the abs. So, na-engage naman dito yung mga core natin and nakakapag-focus ka talaga when you do this on your, to do this to make our abs. So, mas na-engage na yon dito sa bicycle crunches. Now, let's proceed to the tips for success with Tabata. So, allow me to read the tips for success with Tabata workout. So, first is start slowly if needed. Beginner can modify Tabata by performing lower intensity, more, or taking slightly longer breaks. The next is focus on form. Good form is key, especially since Tabata involves high-speed movements. Proper form prevents injuries and ensures maximum benefit from each exercise. The next is push your limits. Tabata is about going hard, but always stay within your ability. Gradually build up intensity over time to avoid overtraining. The next is mix exercise. Change up exercise each session to keep your workouts fresh and work different muscle groups. The next is rest and recover. Because of its intensity, limit Tabata session to 2 to 3 minutes per week or 2 to 3 times per week. The next is stay hydrated. The high intensity of Tabata causes sweat loss, so drink water before after your workout. So this is the tips for success with Tabata workout.
So, what is jump rope? Jump rope, or also known as skipping, is a popular exercise that combines cardio, strength, and coordination into a single dynamic workout, targeting muscles in the legs, core, and even upper body, all while boosting heart health. So why jump rope? It is because it's an accessible exercise that requires minimal equipment and space, making it perfect for home workouts, gyms, or even outdoor settings. Unlike many exercises, jumping rope combines both cardio and strength in a balanced way, making it efficient and versatile. The letter A, improve cardiovascular health. Jumping rope raises the heart rate quickly, which strengthens the heart and improves circulation over time, reducing the risk of heart disease. So, ang unang benefits ng jump rope is yung it improves the cardiovascular health. So, ang cardiovascular fitness is, it refers to how well the heart and lungs work together to supply oxygen to the body during a physical activity. And because jump rope increases the heart rate and improves blood circulation over time, this strengthens the heart and improves overall endurance. Next is letter B, burns calories efficiently. Because jump rope is a high-intensity workout, it can burn more calories than many other forms of cardio. So, dahil nga ang jump rope is a high-intensity activity, or itong activity na to is, it requires a lot of energy, it can burn a significant amount of calories in a short period of time. And dahil nga nakaka-burn siya agad ng calories, it makes this exercise or activity effective for maintaining a healthy weight and improving overall fitness. So the next one is builds muscle, endurance, and tone. Regular jumping helps tone muscles in the legs, arms, and core, while also increasing muscular endurance so you can perform other exercises with less fatigue. So, itong activity na to daw is nakaka-improve din siya ng muscle endurance and nakaka-tone din ng body. because jump rope engages multiple muscle groups, especially the legs, arms, shoulders, and core muscles. So, pag palagi mong ginagawa to na activity, it can help strengthen these muscles and improves the endurance. And over time, it can also help you tone your body or make your muscles more stronger and firmer and more defined. The next is enhances coordination and balance. The timing and rhythm required to jump rope help improve coordination and balance. This is particularly useful for sports and activities that require quick movements. So, diba, in doing this kind of exercise or activity, kailangan mo talagang i-timing yung pag-rotate mo sa rope and pag-jump mo para naman hindi matamaan yung paa mo sa rope. And with that, it improves the balance, coordination, and agility, which are important skills for sports and daily physical activities. The next is the letter E, supports bone health. The impact of jumping promotes bone density, which is important for long-term bone health and helps prevent osteoporosis. So, jump rope supports the bone health because it is a weight-bearing exercise. If you're wondering what is weight-bearing exercise, it is a physical activity where the body works against gravity, while the bone supports body's weight, such as jumping, running, or walking. The repeated jumping and landing place controlled stress on the bones, which helps strengthen them and improve bone density or how strong and solid your bones are. So that's why jump rope can help prevent the osteoporosis. So, ang osteoporosis is isa to siyang medical condition kung saan is yung bones mo is magiging weak and fragile or easily to break. And this happens when the bone density decreases and the bones lose their strength. The next is the portable and inexpensive. Jump ropes are affordable and can be used anywhere, making it easy to fit in a workout at home and in the park or while traveling. So jump ropes are inexpensive or affordable lang siya and it's easy to carry. So many people can avail them or buy them because it's just affordable. And they can also bring it anywhere because madali lang naman siyang i-carry kasi maliit lang naman din yun siya. And they can bring it anywhere, whether at home, outdoors, or while traveling. So there are several types of jump ropes that was designed for different skill levels and different fitness goals. The first one is the basic or speed rope. Basic or speed rope are lightweight and ideal for beginners or those focusing on cardio. These ropes allow for faster rotations, making them suitable for high-speed jumps. So this kind of rope is magaan lang siya and easy to use daw. So this type of rope is suitable for beginners and for those individuals who are focusing on cardio exercises. And dahil nga magaan lang siya, they allow faster rotations and smoother movements. The next is the weight rope. Heavier ropes add resistance, making each jump require more strength. These ropes are good for building upper body strength. So itong weight ropes is it provide resistance, making the arms, shoulder, and core work harder. Kasi nga mabigat siya, so medyo mahirap siyang i-rotate. And with that, it helps improve the strength, endurance, and muscle tone while still providing a cardio workout. The next is beaded rope. Made with a thicker design, often with plastic beads. Beaded ropes are durable and provide more feedback in terms of timing, which helps with coordination. So itong beaded ropes naman is it has small plastic beads along the rope. making them durable and easy to control. So, ito siya na jump rope is yung mga beads niya is nakaka-produce siya ng sound whenever it hit the ground or the floor. Para din at ang purpose din nun is para ma-help i-improve yung timing and coordination. This kind of jump rope is ideal for beginners. The last one is digital jump rope. Some ropes come with a digital counter to track jumps, making it easier to set goals and measure progress. So this type of jump rope it has a built-in counter that tracks the jump and time and the calories. And with that built-in counter, it helps the user monitor or track their progress and stay motivated, making it perfect for people who want to track their fitness results. Now, let's discuss how to get started with jump rope. First, choose the right rope. Select a jump rope that suits your fitness goals and skill level. Beginners often find lightweight speed ropes easier to handle, while experienced users might choose weight ropes for added intensity. So to get started with jump rope, first is you have to choose the right rope. You have to choose the rope that is suit for your level or goals. So the next step is adjust the rope length. Stand on the middle of the rope and pull the handles up. For proper length, the handles should reach around your armpits. Shorter ropes are better for quick jumps, while slightly longer ropes work for beginners. So, kailangan daw na i-adjust yung length ng yung rope because proper rope length is important in order to have a comfortable jumping or to be comfortable while jumping. And yung mga jump ropes din kasi, it comes with different lengths. But if the rope is too long or too short, it can cause some problems. So adjusting the rope length ensures that the rope swings smoothly and matches your height, which makes the jumping easier, safer, and more effective. The third step is warm up first. Begin with 5 to 10 minutes of light warm-up, like jogging in place or arm swings to loosen the muscles and prepare the body for exercise. So before you start daw, it is important to warm up the body for 5 to 10 minutes. Well, of course, if you want to do some exercise, you need to warm up first to prepare the muscles and reduce the risk of injury. So this may include jogging in place, swinging the arms, or stretching. The last one is practice good form. So keep your elbows close to your side. So kailangan yung elbows mo is it should stay by your sides, not sticking out. Because this will help you control the rope better and prevent unnecessary arm movement. The next is rotate the rope using your wrist, not your entire arms. So, kailangan daw is yung wrist mo lang yung gagamitin mo in rotating the rope, hindi yung entire arms mo. Kasi daw mas makasave ka daw ng energy pag yung wrist lang yung iniikot-ikot mo. Kasi pag yung entire arms mo talaga yung iniikot mo, is madali kang mapagod and it will be more heavier. And with that, hindi mo agad matatiming yung pag-jump mo kasi mas mabagal kasi pag yung entire arm mo talaga yung gagamitin. Next is jump on the balls of your feet, keeping your knees slightly bent. So in jumping daw is you have to land on the front part of your feet or the balls of your feet instead of your heels. And it is important that you should land on the front part of your feet instead of your heels because landing on the heels puts more pressure on joints. And while landing lightly on the balls of the feet absorbs shock and protects your knees ankles, and back. And if you use the front part of your feet or the balls of your feet, it makes it much easier to control your jumps and stay on rhythm with the rope. The next one is stay light on your feet. Don't jump too high, just enough for the rope to pass beneath. So you have to stay light on your feet and avoid jumping too high. You have to jump for like 1 to 2 inches off the ground, and that is enough in order the rope to pass beneath your feet. And for also, para din maka-conserve ka ng energy and hindi ka madaling mapagod sa pagtalon. And para rin ma-reduce yung risk of any injuries or joint strain. So we have here the table of a sample of jump rope workout routine.
Hello everyone, my name is Angela Pugate. So for today we are going to talk about the jumping rope. Jump rope has a different popular techniques that can really help improve our coordination, balance, and of course our physical fitness. So first we have the basic jump. It is the simplest technique na kung saan ang dalawang paa natin ay sabay na tatalon while keeping the jump slow to the ground. It is also considered the foundation of most jump rope exercises. Kasi kapag nag-jump rope tayo, ang ginagawa talaga natin dyan is of course tumatalon tayo. Another technique is high knees. Kung sa basic jump naman ay sinasabay natin ang dalawang paa, dito naman ay lift one knee at a time as high as possible while jumping. So alternate na itataas natin yung ating knee and as much as possible tataasan yung pagtatalon natin. So this movement increases the cardio activity and works the core and lower body muscles. So another technique is side-to-side jump, where the person moves their jumps from the left to the right side. So habang tumatalon tayo is i-move natin yung katawan natin from left to right. So this helps improve agility and balance. The next one is single leg jump. It is done by jumping on one foot while the other foot stays raised, then switching legs during the exercise. So this technique helps strengthen the legs and improves balance. Nagkaka-improve siya ng balance is because dito natin makikita if kaya ba natin na while tumatalon tayo is nakataas yung ating isang paa. So the next one is crisscross technique. It involves crossing the rope in front of the body while jumping, which requires better coordination and engages the arms and shoulders. So tips for an effective jump rope workout. To make jump rope workouts effective, there are some important tips that we need to follow. So first, stay light on your feet, start slowly, mix up moves, stay consistent, and cool down. So syempre, if beginners ka, you should stay light on your feet. Avoid heavy landings, start slowly, usually with short sessions of about 5 to 10 minutes. And pwede na mo nang taasan yung time if naging comfortable ka na. Also, mix different jump styles to make the workout more interesting para hindi ka agad maboring sa pagtatalon-talon ng isang style lang. And of course, para ma-target din yung mga iba, yung mga different muscles. Consistency is also important. So it is more recommended to jump rope for 10 to 15 minutes at least 3 to 4 times a week. And after the workout, doing a advanced jump rope moves, like the double under. This is where the rope passes under the feet twice during one jump. So this technique requires speed and good coordination. Another move is the boxer step, where a person shifts their weight from one foot to the other while jumping lightly. This step is commonly used by boxers to improve rhythm and agility. The backward jump is done by swinging the rope in reverse while jumping, which adds a new challenge but can improve coordination. And lastly, the side swing. It involves swinging the rope to one side of the body without jumping, and then bringing it back, which can also serve as a short rest between jumps. So the question here is jump rope right for you? So jump rope is a very simple and very accessible exercise that most people can do regardless of their fitness level. Nasa bahay ka man or sa labas ay pwede kang mag-jumping rope. And also, it is very helpful for improving our cardiovascular fitness, coordination, and muscle tone. However, with people with joint problems or balance issues should be careful and take breaks when needed.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and good morning everyone. I am Muhammad Ashraf Elau, and today I will be going to discuss the plyometric training. Plyometric training is a type of exercise focused on explosive movements. It's often used by athletes, but it's also great for anyone looking to improve power, speed, and strength. Let's break down what plyometric is, its benefits, how it works, and how some example exercises. Ang plyometric training ay isang uri ng exercise na nakatuon sa mabilis at malalakas na galaw ng katawan. Layunin nitong sanayin ang muscles upang makagawa ng malakas na puwersa sa napakaikling oras. Karaniwan nitong ginagawa sa pamamagitan ng mga galaw tulad ng pagtalon, paglukso o mabilis na pagtulak ng katawan. Halimbawa, kapag ang isang tao ay tumalon ng mataas para makakuha ng bola sa basketball, kailangan niyang gumamit ng lakas at bilis ng sabay. Ang plyometric training ang tumutulong upang mapalakas ang ganitong kakayahan ng katawan. Sa madaling salita, ang plyometric training ay exercise na nagtuturo sa katawan na maging mas mabilis, mas malakas at mas explosive ang galaw. What is plyometric training? Plyometric training involves exercises that have a quick and powerful movement pattern. It's all about moving on front and forcefully as possible, often by using the body's natural stretch, reflex, and mechanism. These movements include jumping, hopping, and bounding actions. The idea to some muscles to generate maximum force quickly, which can help in sports and everyday activities which quick reaction are necessary. Sa plyometric training, ang mga muscles ay ini-stretch muna at pagkatapos ay mabilis na ginagamit para gumawa ng malakas na galaw. Kapag ginawa ito ng tama, nagkakaroon ng mas malaki, lakas at bilis ng katawan. Halimbawa, kapag binaluktot o in-stretch mo muna ang tuhod bago tumalon, ang mga muscles sa binti ay parang nag-iipon ng energy. Kapag tumalon ka na, ginamit ng katawan ng energy iyon para makatalon ng mas malakas at mas mataas. Dahil dito, ang plyometric training ay nakatulong sa pagpapalakas ng mga muscle, pagpapabilis ng galaw ng katawan, pagpapabuti ng balance at coordination, pagpapataas ng stamina at lakas ng puso. So bakit nga ba ginagawa ang plyometric training? Ginagawa ang plyometric training upang mapabuti ang physical performance ng isang tao. Ito ay mahalaga lalo na sa mga sports na nangangailangan ng mabilis na galaw, pagtalon at pagbabago ng direksyon tulad ng basketball, soccer at track and field. Ngunit kahit ang mga hindi atleta ay maaring makinabang dito. So bakit nga ba? Dahil nakatulong ito sa pagkalatang kalusugan at lakas ng katawan. Sa madaling salita, ang plyometric training ay isang uri ng exercise na gumagamit ng mabilis at malalakas na galaw upang sanayin ang mga muscle na maging mas malakas, mas mabilis at mas mahusay kumilos. Ito ay nakakatulong hindi lamang sa sports kundi pati sa overall fitness ng katawan. How does plyometric work? Ang plyometric training ay gumagana sa pamamagitan ng natural na reaction ng muscles kapag ito ay ni-stretch at pagkatapos ay mabilis na ginagamit. So meron itong tatlong phase. First, we have the eccentric phase or the loading phase. Ito ang unang bahagi ng galaw kung saan naghahanda ang katawan. Sa bahaging ito, ini-stretch o pinahaba muna ang muscles habang naghahanda sa susunod na galaw. Halimbawa, kapag binaluktot mo ang tuhod bago tumalon, ang mga muscle sa binti ay nag-iipon ng energy para itong paghahanda ng spring bago ito bumitaw. Second is the amortization phase or the transition phase. Ito ang napakaikling sandali sa pagitan ng pag-stretch ng muscles at ng paggalaw. Sa madaling salita, ito ang paglipat mula sa paghahanda papunta sa actual na galaw. Napakahalaga na mabilis ang bahaging ito dahil kapag mas matagal ito, mawawala ang energy na naipon sa unang phase. Third, we have the concentric phase or the explosion phase. Ito na ang actual na malakas na galaw. Dito kumukontra o umiikli ang muscles at ginagamit ang energy na naipon kanina upang makagawa ng malakas at mabilis na kilos. Halimbawa, ito ang mismong pagtalon pataas pagkatapos mong baluktutin ang tuhod. So meron tayong simpleng halimbawa ng tatlong phase. First is babaluktot ka muna ng tuhod or the paghahanda, which is the eccentric. Second is sandaling paghinto bago tumalon. This is the transition or amortization. Third is tatalon ka pataas, and this is the explosion or the concentric. Ang layunin ng plyometric training ay pabilisin ang pagitan ng paghahanda at pagtalon para maging mas malakas at mas mabilis ang galaw. Benefits of plyometric training. First, increases power and strength. So, sa first, or sa una is lumalakas ang katawan. Dahil sa malalakas na galaw, mas nagiging malakas ang mga muscles, lalo na sa binti, braso at core. Second is enhances speed and agility. Nasasanay ang katawan na kumilos agad at mabilis, kaya nagiging mas magaling sa sports o physical activities. Third is improves coordination and balance. Kapag tumatalon at lumalapag ang katawan, kailangan ng kontrol at balanse. Dahil dito, mas nagiging coordinated ang katawan. Fourth is the boost endurance and cardio health. Nakakatulong sa puso at stamina. Ang plyometric exercise ay mataas ang intensity, kaya tumataas ang tibok ng puso. Nakakatulong ito para lumakas ang puso at maging mas matibay ang stamina. Some examples of plyometric exercises. First, we have the jump squats. Magsisimula ka sa squat position, pagkatapos ay tatalong pataas at babalik ulit sa squat kapag lumapag. Pinapalakas nito ang mga binti at hips. Second is the box jumps. Tatalon ka papunta sa isang kahon o matibay na platform. Pagkatapos ay bababa ulit. Nakakatulong ito para mapalakas ang talon at balanse. Third, we have the lateral bounce. Ito ay paglukso pakaliwa at pakanan gamit ang isang paa. Maganda ito para sa bilis ng paggalaw sa gilid na mahalaga sa sports. Fourth is the clapping push-ups. Ito ay push-up na malakas ang tulak pataas hanggang makapagpalakpak sa hangin bago bumalik sa lupa. Pinapalakas nito ang dibdib, braso at core. And last, we have the burpees. Ito ay kombinasyon ng squat, push-up at jumps. Ito ay isang full body exercise dahil halos lahat ng parte ng katawan ay gumagalaw. Tips for safe and effective plyometric training. First, start slowly or magsimula sa madali. Dahil intense ang plyometrics, huwag agad sa mahirap na galaw. Mas mabuti na magsimula sa simple exercises. Second is focus on good form. Panatilihin ang tamang forma. Siguraduhin maayos ang pagtalon at paglapag para maiwasan ang injury. Third is warm up first or mag-warm up muna. Ang warm up ay nagpapainit sa muscles at joints para handa ang katawan sa mabigat na galaw. Fourth is limit sessions. Huwag gawin araw-araw. Mas mabuting gawin ito ng 2 o hanggang 3 beses lang sa isang linggo para makapagpahinga ang katawan. Fifth is use suitable surfaces or gumamit ng tamang lugar. Mas mainam na gawin ito sa malambot na surface tulad ng rubber mat o damuhan para mabawasan ang impact sa tuhod at paa. Who can benefit from plyometric training? Plyometric training is helpful for athletes in sports that require quick bursts of speed and direction changes, such as soccer, basketball, and track and field. But non-athletes can benefit from plyometrics because it builds functional strength and coordination. So sino ang makikinabang sa plyometric training? Ang plyometric training ay napakaganda para sa mga athletes, lalo na sa sports tulad ng basketball, soccer, track and field. Dahil kailangan nila ng bilis, lakas at mabilis na paggalaw. Pero kahit hindi athlete, makikinabang pa rin dito dahil nakakatulong ito sa pagpapalakas ng katawan, pagpapabuti ng balance, pagpapabilis ng galaw, pagpapabuti ng overall fitness. Para sa mga baguhan, mahalagang magsimula sa madaling exercise at dahan-dahang dagdagan ang hirap. Ang plyometric training ay isang uri ng exercise na tumutulong sa katawan na gumagawa ng mabilis at malakas na galaw. Ginagawa ito sa pamamagitan ng pag-stretch ng muscles, mabilis na paglipat at malakas na paggalaw. Kung gagawin ito ng tama at may sapat na paghinga, makakatulong ito upang maging mas malakas, mas mabilis, mas balance at mas fit ang katawan.
So, good day everyone, especially to our instructor, Sir Saiden. Today, I will be discussing the drills and the benefits of drills in fitness and so, okay, let's proceed to the main discussion. So, what is drills? O ano nga ba ang drills? So ngayon, malalaman natin kung ano nga ba ang drills at ang definition nito. So, ang drills is a repeated exercise o galaw na ginagawa para ma-develop ang isang particular na skills o physical ability. In fitness, ginagamit ito para ma-develop ang speed, strength, endurance, agility, and coordination. So, drills are usually short but active, and they are common in sports and physical training. Let's proceed to the benefits of drills and fitness. So, isa sa pangunahing benefits ng drills is nakakatulong ito sa ating agility at coordination. Ibig sabihin nito is mas magiging mabilis at kontrolado natin ang galaw ng ating katawan. And the second one is nakakatulong din ang drills sa speed at endurance. Kapag kasi nasanay ang ating katawan sa tuloy-tuloy na movement, nai-improve nito ang ating endurance at stamina. And the third one is sa pamamagitan naman ng drills gaya ng jumping at push-ups is nadidevelop at nai-improve ang muscle strength natin, lalo na sa legs, arms, and sa core natin. May drills din na nagpapabilis ng reaction time natin at dahil doon is mas mabilis ang reaction or response ng ating katawan sa movement o signal. And the last one is support weight loss. So when we do high intensity drills is like jump squats, nakakatulong ito sa pag-burn o sa burning calories or sa weight management. Let's proceed to the types of drills in fitness and exercise training. So ang agility drills ay para sa speed at para sa kontroladong galaw ng katawan sa iba't ibang direction. And primary benefit nito is para sa para ma-improve ang balance at coordination. And ang example nito is ladder drill, cone, and T-drill. And the second one is speed drills. Ang speed drills is nakapokus sa pagpapabilis ng movement, lalo na sa foot speed and body quickness. So, ang primary benefit nito is for speed and cardiovascular health because nagiging active ang ating katawan habang nag-exercise. And example nito is sprint, shuttle runs. Ang strength drills ay ginagawa ito para ma-enhance ang muscle power natin at endurance in the body. And ang primary benefit nito is strength and muscle tone. An example nito is squat jumps, push-ups, and the plyometric drills. So, ang plyometric drills is ito na yung mga high impact exercise na may explosive movement, and ang purpose nito is para ma-develop ang power at quick muscle reaction natin. So, ang example nito is box jumps, burpees, and truck jumps. And the endurance drills. So, ang endurance drills naman is para ma-improve ang stamina at kakayahan ng katawan natin na para hindi basta-basta mapapagod. And ang primary benefit nito is sa cardiovascular fitness. And the reaction drills. So, ang reaction drills ay tumutulong para mapabilis ang response ng ating katawan sa signal or sa movement. So, ang primary benefit naman nito is reaction time and reflexes. So, ang example nito is ball toss and Fatler's reaction drill. And the last one is balance and stability. Ang balance and stability naman is nakapokus lang siya sa body control at stability habang gumagalaw ka or nakatayo lamang. Ang primary benefit naman nito is balance and core strength. For example is single leg stance and balance balls drills.
So let's proceed to the sample drills for fitness training. So the first one is ladder or the agility ladder drill. The agility ladder drill is ginagamit siya for the fast movement of the foot at para ma-improve ang coordination. Habang ginagawa natin ito is natututo ang katawan na maging mabilis pero controlled pa rin ang movement. Kaya useful ito sa sports at general fitness. And the second is cone drill. So the cone drill is nakakatulong ito sa quick direction change at body control. Sa cone drills kasi is may mga nakaayos sa iba't ibang pattern and need gumalaw ng mabilis sa pagitan neto. And the plyometric box jumps. So maganda itong drill para mapa-improve ang lower body at ma-increase ang explosive power ng ating legs. So ito ay exercise na kung saan tatalon ka sa ibabaw ng box o sa platform. And shuttle run. So the shuttle run is effective ito para sa speed at cardiovascular endurance. Ang shuttle run is paulit-ulit at pabalik-balik na pag-sprint. And the push-up ladder drill. And the push-up ladder drill is it strengthens the upper body strength and endurance. Sa drill na ito is unti-unti mong dinadagdagan ang bawat reps o bilang ng push-ups. And the high knees. So the high knees is
It improves leg speed and cardio fitness. Simple drill lang to siya na kung saan is itinataas mo ang tuhod habang mabilis na tumatakbo or naka-standby ka lang. And the reaction ball toss. So, it enhance speed and reaction time. Dahil nga unpredictable ang bounce ng bola is natututo ang body natin na mag-react kaagad. And the last one is single leg balance drill. So, the single leg balance drill is it develops stability and balance. Sa drill na ito is isang paa lang ang ginagamit sa pagtayo.